Mike in Tacoma, Washington. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, Tom. So, so my wife and I went over to Europe a few months ago on a tour, And I've never been there before. My wife hadn't, and we're just people. We're no celebrities or, special people. We went on this tour. So we went over to London 3 days before the tour started, and we're there in the hotel. And as soon as I got there, I realized I'm diabetic. I realized that I left my metformin at home.
Uh-oh.
And I need the metformin. We're going to be there 3 weeks. So I tried to call Kaiser to get a prescription sent to Britain, to a pharmacy that was up the street. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, my wife got sick, and she was throwing up. So the pharmacist said to go to Charing Cross Hospital, go to urgent care. I went to urgent care, 10 minutes. I was in there 10 minutes. They saw me. I showed them my ID, my Washington State ID. They saw me 10 minutes. The doctor that was there writing up a prescription for me. I took it to the pharmacist. He gave me a month's supply of metformin and some stuff for my wife's nausea, all for nothing. Didn't cost me 1 cent. The only thing it cost me was an 8-pound they charge everybody for a prescription for it goes to the National Health.
Right, which is like $10.
And it's a one-time fee,
Yeah, we had a very similar experience. I was speaking at King's College in London, and this was 15 years ago. I was giving a speech on ADHD, and Louise and I were traveling, and we were taking our youngest child with us, our youngest daughter, and she had this, and she was like at the time 11, 12 years old, and she had an awful ear infection. And so I got back from the speech, and it was like 11:30 at night, and we were staying with a family with some people who were local ADHD activists, and and she was like in tears. She was my daughter in so much pain for the ear infection, and so the people we were staying with, they said, well, let's call the surgery, they call it, the local doctor's office. And so they called the local doctor's office and put me on the phone, and I described the symptoms. And he says, well, where are you? And I gave him the address, and he said, well, I'll be over there in about 10 minutes. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm about to get off the clock here at midnight, and so I'll just stop at your place on my way home, and I'll see your daughter. And I'm like, okay. He comes over, he checks out our daughter. He says, oh, yeah, she's got a pretty bad ear infection. He pulls out of his doctor bag a blister pack of, I think it was amoxicillin. It was one of those simple, straightforward, broad-spectrum antibiotics. And, says, gives them to Louise and says, here, give her 2 tablets right now and then 1 every 6 hours or 8 hours or whatever it was. And he was just so nice, he was just a young guy. He was in his 30s, I guess. And when he was all done, I was like, what do I owe you? And he said, oh, there's no charge for this.
It's like I'm amazed that people want to go. The world wants to go to our system,
right?
I want to go to their system,
right? And Donald Trump and Jeremy Corbyn and Theresa May have been negotiating a deal where they're going to blow up the National Health Service of the United Kingdom and replace it with for-profit health insurance companies and extend the patent length of prescription drugs so that their price will go up. I'm with you, Mike. I'm completely with you. I mean, it is insane what we have been doing in this country, and it is insane that any other country would want to become like us in this regard.